Okay, so now we're going to go back to GitHub and check out some of these changes. So if you don't have GitHub open already, or you already do, open up your browser, go to GitHub. Having trouble connecting, let's try it again. There we go. And then you'll be on a dashboard page like this. Everybody on a page like this? Ish. Mine probably has more stuff going on. You should see your username over here on the left near the top. If you click on that, you should also see FRC 538, which is one of your organizations. If you click on that, it will bring you to a page that probably looks way more similar to mine now. This is what's going on in the organization. You can click on View Organization to go to that home page. So this is viewing the organization as if it were a person. But you can see all these repos, and if I click on repositories, I can see every code repo that we have. Now, the one that we're working on is Time Demo 538, so we're going to go there. And if you ever get lost and you're like, where do I need to go? The URL is actually formatted very nicely because it's just github.com / the organization / the repo name. So it's just github.com / organization / repo. So as long as you know organization repo, you don't have to click on anything, you can just type it in. But you're probably seeing a yellow box on here, right? With a green button. Everybody click on that green button. And click on the second green button. So you should be on a screen that looks somewhat like this. The big difference on yours is going to be your number. So one of you should be a 3, one should be a 4, one should be a 5, one should be a 6, and one should be a 7. And if you click on the pull request tab after you do that, you'll see them after they populate. So I can see I've got one, and I can see 3 other users have made theirs too. Now right now this is set up so that you can go in and I can click on this and I can say, oh, let me see what this user did. They go to their files changed, party time, right? Well, if I want to, I can leave a comment and I can say, great. And I can say, oh, I want to make this a review. So this is a way for you to say, I want to look at what you did, make sure it's good to go before we do something with it. If you were here last time, Nick talked a little bit about code reviews. Code review is an opportunity for the other members on the team, as well as the mentors, to kind of look at the code that you've written, give you feedback on it, ways that can be improved, things we see that like, hey, this could be a problem. Like, hey, you didn't run into this when you were writing it and testing it because it's a rare situation, but we've read a lot more code than you have and we know this can come up, so we're going to bring it to your team and say, hey, you might want to look into this before you say this is good to go. Yep.
How did you get into the code?
So if I'm on pull requests and I click on just the pull request, there's conversation, there's commits, there's checks, and there's files changed. Commits will show me all the commits you did, but files changed will show me what files got changed and how they were changed. And so right now, all these pull requests are trying to get code into the main branch because that's what they're there for. That's the way you get code into main because we don't want to, just push all of our changes onto the main branch. Any questions up to that point? Yep.
How do you read other people's comments?
Well, so if you were to, so let's see, I left a comment here on. I'll leave a comment here too. I'll say 2 lines. I'll just add a single comment. I don't want to start a review. If you go in to the pull request, so I'll go back to the home screen. If I were to click on that same pull request, I can actually see the comments kind of right there in the feed, kind of like a social media, my personal, like my For You page or whatever. It'll be listed there. But you can also click on files changed, and it should show up there for you too. You might have to refresh the page if it's not loading, but that's kind of a way that you can push up your code, look at somebody else's code, and share comments with each other. It's all publicly viewable to those within the organization for sure. Now, if you look back on the repo's homepage, you'll see that it's public. That means all the stuff in this repo, anybody on GitHub could go see. So the comments I left, because it's a public repo, anybody off the street who has a GitHub account or doesn't have a GitHub account can go to the repo, go to the pull request, and read that history, which is really nice if you're talking about let's see, what's a good example? If I were to go to github.com, WPIlib. So I can go to WPIlib where they write their code, and I can go look at which one do I want? I want this one, I think. Yeah. So I can go to their repo. I can see their pull requests. And I do this from time to time. I go and look and see what are they working on in WPIlib? What's changing to the next release? And you can see what they've done. I can see that there's files changed here. I can see what files they've changed. Good rule of thumb, if it's not your repo, don't mess with it. But if it's out there, go read it for sure. It's a great way to stay informed. But if this were a private repo, then only people in our organization could go see it. So that's kind of the balance there. And so that was mostly meant as kind of a review recap for most of what we did last time, because you notice that was the same process. Create a branch, make a change, commit the change, push the change, open a pull request, all that good stuff. And now, if you look at the pull requests, there's conflicts. And of course there's going to be conflicts. Actually, there shouldn't be conflicts. So here's why there's conflicts. It's because somebody completed their pull request instead of just leaving it open. So if I go to pull requests, I look at the closed requests, I can see, Merrick is the culprit. But that's not a problem for right now because, again, this is just a test. It's just to demonstrate. I can go in later and I can make changes and say, well, we want to make it so that only a mentor can close a pull request so that y'all don't do something like that, or that it has to complete a code review first. So there's a lot of options we have to kind of protect the code. So if you ever get into a situation in the future where something's not working like we've shown it to work, just know that we can put kind of locks in place to protect you from yourself. Okay, any questions up to that point?